the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
The new patriotic party at the Babetu just said one as suspended 2024 parliamentary candidate for the Agona West constituency, Christopher Atta, say party no at the Mrebi Babetu Abontin na papai Abuso Amino Kase the one as suspended papa na Jebekaya Enra NPP Amanyukono Ekokoye emergency mitre putupru meeting bi about Nsem-Pii na efiri abonten eba se Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, the former president, and a J.A. Kofo nso se eyade se NPP amanyuku no aside line omo nanso eyade se one at the Babetu just say one encash na ekame se enipa bi eni abre se one ebe say NPP amanyuku no a one ehye eye master work se one ebe say party no na Chris Atei ya suspending ono ankasa akasa the reason why nti ya suspending na ne boni o se oye nyina ne se okoye campaign ed ema Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia nipa ni bi nso eguso ya suspend o ma omodie enyama abonten ebi nso e wo se one ekokohia disciplinary committee na edien na ekoso de yenkonyenkotie Chris Atta
unim se woko Agona West constituency e wo central region MPP 2024 na omo parliamentary candidate your friend Chris Arthur Esquire and yate se party ne se omo suspend no me come say constituency chairman na suspend no and the Chris Arthur lawyer Chris Arthur ete saying now why na suspend we
Obi me share with you for you na. And then I joke my point ejuma me kofie. You have some month for friend. Also me share me phone so me ko share ya constituency chairman Libre Townco and secretary ya to aba party ni yi ni sinchen no. And I'm in the bin to o ma sign letter say me ne MC and then one electoral area coordinator. Yakoya campaign a Bawumia. Na ono ma yakwan nti matomra until was suspend me. I'm so na bibi say kra party mremo no. Wo frɛ constituency executive na wode to wani mana na obi the petition eba to omuanim. Ti me frɛ executive bɛyɛ nsia. Obi ase won constituency executive kwa apart from class ase ni wo mu huye omo meeting bia omo take any decision like this enti ayeme wawa na odene na me was pedi bebia na obi my year popular rough asema wo eni nyina so unhu ni tini nai or they are pedi bebia say na koye meeting na ama Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. No etia kudua directives bi or the buy. Nti we gina no so suspended.
Na omo frau before a committee bi ma hearing ana.
Obi me say me hu a phone so say amount for spread. One frau me any committee, one ma me any petition. One ma me no me answer was suspended. To me, the man, General Secretary said, no, we should free him. Then, Mr. Nese, Constituency Chairman, I say, OCK advisory also on an Enkasai. Who be the answer? Let me demand a regional secretary. Regional secretary, Nasa Mochoa, also, this is stupidity.
Regional secretary, Central Region.
No, I'm a mensa. You need a winter and person Hano. The way it's spread, no. I'm the saying, no, say, this is where from this. Obian for Obia, a calculated attempt. So, what your constituency, no. The whole central region, yet two about our primaries last year, no. Honorable Canadian Japan, when your votes were Agona West, etching the delegates is almost about 1,000, no. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia just about 200. na strategy omo use ye enwa na wasan use bio no honorable Jamosin ye open campaign at the market and a constituency chairman no pretended to say ono no or Kennedy ono wo Bawumia because o ceremony enti one more Kennedy no ekohye wi no one more Bawumia nso ekohye no wehu itinerary Bawumia for deco no akosele ama won nti Bawumia nkrofo kohia delegate wi wo ase sinti esi ekire na wakasa adwumani na nti yeto aba no or suspending known Bawumia people nti da yeto aba no obi oyi nanim ye adwuma ma Bawumia bia open bia akwei onesintia suspending no prevent or physically moment me wura stadium ho anto aba nti by about 2 weeks ago and me MC your friend say Chris adwuma ya te say amanfo asafo makane dibio na no say ya na ye ma ye vote ko fem kra te me pese ye share volunteers bi na say ya me ya adom no obie nomination no mu a na wo mo so etumi aye adwuma ne bi abo aba wo me a te me ne ono and one aspirant former BFN lawyer Matthias and some constituency executives na me free organizer no bona me say me pese ye kushia sa volunteers no on my baby a ye kushia wo nti wo ye volunteers asama me kan ye eni nsema ye kan ye me dey ama Dominic obotumi yi ache the whole world we encourage them to still believe in the party and work for the party even the time I was position and no whole letter no we actually know.
And of course, I mean, say for such a decision, when you're hearing, be an idea. I mean, I've been issued.
I mean, you're a lawyer, so
and you're bit me stand. Is there the process what follow here to notify party general secretary and regional general secretary and regional secretary
and general secretary? I catch them say, "Anka, mami nkanwa samukra." Nemom adana atre akoso.
Yeah.
So radio station be friend secretary no a temper odidi on radio for no ama supporters ebuafu de until I was at least make a baby. Then who say they are why no inclusive because the rules of natural justice, even if I have heard, give me hearing.
Yes.
Notify me. Tell me my son. You just write a letter and then you spread it. One phrase executive committee. You know naturally most of them natural letter. No they spread it. I mean, and into the Yato Patriotic Institute. So we'll call back in my amount it here. Now when who said Jimmy Bia or party dead at on arrival.
And the supporters are 80 and then I will catch her or mommy patcho.
The catcher one say Mr. Omo. Mobia and Yedede. Mobia Sakumen too. Sir, BBSC, she see it. Bibia the no cram pepe. Mementon party, Merebia, ne party the Sebia, you begin also suspend me. And she, Omu Yededa, Munja Momo Yomudede. Campaign so, Obia Mobuano, and to her, Yameya Dom, na ye be Quemua, ye be ye Juma Bois, Dr. Mamon Bawumia. You see now, no, yeah, my name is Jim Da,
to really want to cut down the cost of running the business of government. I mean, the way I was saying, Cowboy and Penya Basu, Anna.
Don't be there, no credit. It's, I guess, ordinarily, I was saying, Mampeni, John Dramani Mahama. It's me, Bonabaso. But, the experience that he's had in government, he cannot feign ignorance about the real structure if indeed you want to reduce government expenditure as far as fuel consumption is concerned. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, with his experience at the Jubilee House, cannot feign ignorance the depot you castle. And no, and the chunk of the fuel that is being drawn by appointees. And then fuel coupons, the ministers and deputy ministers were ministries, and as I was agencies. And on as in fact, Obi, when I was the deputy minister for the whole month, the money fuel 4,000 Ghana cedis for the whole month.
And in what form? Coupons, Anna?
Yes, in coupons.
Nana also to me call Sh0cks Kobu from the depot, Anna?
Not at all.
Anna minister the Muntiminko.
I was not allowed to go there.
Okay.
But the beer, the chunk of it, me say, Obi Mao, wo central phone, Omonko, Sh0cks. A typical Wednesday or Friday. The question, the Land Cruisers that are lined up to draw fuel free of charge. And no, and I can't if indeed, and that is why I'm unable to commend him, because headlines like it. The nominal way now is about optics. But now no who yet Ghana for optics. Inti adia ubetumi aye no aye ni ye kra no wa se da fa no kakra bi she LGBT kills as a what day D levy ebe pass no 3 hours our parliament any LGBT kills and some won't me va ma ebe pass no within 3 hours meanwhile what that does for Ghana hina and so the point I am trying to make is that, Obi, I am urging President Mahama, even though it's a good approach in making sure that government expenditure is reduced so that we can have enough space to be able to embark on developmental projects. But it should be done and done well, because the name of Omono Eko Sh0cks every day it could be 2 or 3. So
some for your government appointees.
Absolutely. Go and ask anybody from the Jubilee House. Nebusa say how many of them? And a quote, in fact, when I say how many of them, almost every appointee of Jubilee House goes to Sh0cks. There are more than ministry appointees. There are more than CEOs who takes hard copy fuel coupons. And that is why I'm saying that his action is shrouded in hypocrisy and political headlines. Okay. If you really want to do it, please close down the depot. The depot, close it down. So there will be a sacrifice.
But is it your understanding? Because Osha statement now, Omuka say fuel allowance / allocation. Omo eko osuho depot ni kokobuno. Say omubu according to allocation na yedi ama wo mo ana.
Omo de na allocation. Ana ministers ni CEO dey fuel allowances let me akanasa.
Okay.
Into allocation no. The opese we make sure say indeed obia or wa ben mo ya appointee. Onya safu oni bia. The first thing that you need to do is from Enekoyano. So we should have seen in the statement that you've closed down the depot. But if you are silent about closing down the depot, because remember, appointees in Nano, IGP
yes.
And there's an economy who's a police vehicles that has been lined up in the name of IGP. What are you talking about? That is what I'm saying, that if you want to do it, let's stop the politics and do it well. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But don't make it look as if say, oh yeah, Bibiama, when indeed you're not doing anything.
One thing I'm person finding out is to say statement fuel allowance. And to say oh the na 4,000 now would that be the fuel allowance?
Absolutely.
And say fuel allocation and so the obeko a friend say depot no akwa bu wa allocation.
Yes, because no on the culture say in a week, a certain deputy chief of staff, and then the office of the deputy chief of staff, and then some more research office.
Yes.
You are entitled to maybe $20 a week. Until Wednesday and Friday, over a certain group of people, almost 1 week in Waso, and they've lined up taking fuel and also drawing fuel from the Osu Castle depot.
Depot, no.
Asisiano, Kata no Abanwa. And Yako ministers no Asabi. Omoano, bit me finding ways and means of bit me survival. No. Omona, you are free, CEOs, and you are free.
But say appointees. In the appointees, or Jubilee House when you are back home.
Unless we see that the depot has been closed down.
Okay. And yes, our behind statement on my feature Ekubu. But one other thing, so they say, if I look at this statement, is it your understanding, say Enfan say minister be and as appointee be? E was so kwaya adwuma bi e wo Kumasi anase Tamale na or drive akwa based on this statement omotwa fuel allowance the fuel allocation mo no ono one beto the fuel the akwa Tamale ho.
That is, you write a simple memo to your chief director. If I am traveling, I write a memo to my chief director.
Okay.
My chief director will approve it. In fact, the memo is to the minister, and the minister will minister it to the chief director. But if the minister himself is writing or by request it to the chief director straight, then the chief director will check the availability of resources as to whether say, according to a minister, not deputy minister, it basically approve resources at the amount. That is fuel and then allowance. So that one is different from weekly fuel allowance. Fuel allowance, would be free. If you are free bar and also upon our if you are not there static, it will be given to you. But if you are traveling to embark on any assignment that is of public importance, and I say it's a public duty that is in line with your appointment and schedule of duty, what you do is that you write to the chief director, and the chief director approves it and provide the driver another fuel allowances, another fuel coupons.
Okay.
Not just to point.
Okay. In the way, no, essentially, fuel for within Accra. Driving I know free office man, right?
So you now see, you say lawyers, if it be de minimis, you now see how little man your friend say, His Excellency President Dama of Fusukwashida Babasugano, how little it is in the ocean.
Yeah, but sir,
you've now seen how little it is in the ocean.
But you compare that to what Momoa Baimu Moye, and you claim, say, Nanado ete ne appointee salary so by 30%. Earlier, you had made an argument, say, fuel allowance, the fuel allocation, a part of amount for conditions of service. And the president vary no arbitrarily, a down illegality. But say amount for salary so can more condition of service on it nanado team 30% no na no illegal
obi share me political appointee mau letter. In fact, the truth is that I don't even remember the letter that was given to me as a deputy minister. I don't remember if I got it, but I remember I was given the insignia. But just check most of the appointees like a CEO, your mouth appointment, especially when you're supposed to go through the Public Services Commission, you now become a public officer, properly so called, as defined by Article 190 or so, 191. Now it comes with certain conditions of service, and those conditions of service, you are under the Public Services Commission and not the President of the Republic of Ghana. So the President of the Republic of Ghana, Somoto, cannot say that someone who have gone through the Public Services Commission's regulatory framework to be appointed as an appointee or if like an officer of an institution and has been given conditions of service can now have those conditions of service withdrawn by the President Somoto without recourse to the Public Service Commission. That cannot be good governance. So you cannot really compare that one with a political appointee like a minister or a deputy minister who can say, because I have been directly appointed by the president and I do not go through Public Service Commission, although my approval comes from Parliament. That one, the president can say, per cabinet decision in Nakushia, because you want to make sure you make sacrifices and create enough space for the government to be able to embark on developmental projects in Intino. They may actually salary so 30%. But when somebody goes through Public Service Commission, what are the conditions of service? I dare say the president does not have the authority to withdraw those conditions of service. Not because, and I said by way of say, when I'm appointed now, I'm going to go through that process in Intino. It borders on illegality. And of course, anybody who is interested, I'm not sure these people who have been appointed may want to go on that path. Well, a busybody in the contest can say, well, let me go and seek for an interpretation. But I'm saying that, because see, we see, and it's former go through the Public Service Commission now. President didn't say, or just add in a few months. But appointed ministers in a unity, or okay, chief director, because there is a government.